Hey, but this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. And I thank you for tuning in. And those who tune in for the first time, I thank you. And those who've been consistently supporting me, I thank you as well. But on today's episode, all through YouTube, all through the internet, P. Diddy's name been bombarded. Hottest topic to talk about. And I think it's important that me being a creator talk about it also because I grew up listening to hip hop and also a lesson to be learned, and I have some scriptures to be shared. And today's topic is on whatever's in the dark comes out, whatever's in the dark comes out in the light. The exposed, Diddy exposed. Whatever's in the dark come out in the light. Diddy exposed on today's episode with Zaccheus with another live word of the day. Now, you want to know how it all started and how Diddy's been exposed. This is the root of how he got exposed. To this source, it says Diddy settled a racism lawsuit against Diageo over tequila in partnership. Remember, he had Ciroc, and he partnered with Diageo. So Diddy sued Diageo and won the lawsuit. He won the lawsuit, and that's what triggered the exposure of Diddy. That's what triggered the exposure of Diddy, because if he did not sue Diageo, now that's a question. Leave a comment. Would you believe that it would have come out? But I believe whatever's in the dark will come to light. But what triggered the whole exposure of Diddy with the freak off parties and the video leak of with Cassie was the all started when he sued and he won the settlement against Diageo Tequila Partnership. Yes, there you go. And Diddy had a long-term partnership in the liquor business. And according to the recent sources, Diageo resolved all disputes and both parties announced on Tuesday morning, apparently ending long and complicated legal battles wherein Combs' alleged liquor giant had not supported marketing agreement involving Ciroc vodka and Leon tequila. The parties announced that the resolution in the brief settlement statement severing their business ties. Sean Combs and Diego are now agreed to resolve all the between them. Mr. Combs and has withdrawn all allegations about Diego and will voluntarily dismiss the lawsuits against Diego with prejudice. The statement and attributed both parties raised Diego and Mr. Combs has no ongoing business relationship either with respect to Ciroc vodka or the tequila, which Diego now solely owns. So there's no more partnership at all between the both of them. But as you can see, it was a retaliation when Combs, Diddy won the lawsuit and won the settlement. It was retaliation, and all the exposure of Diddy came out. But this is not just a exposure of Diddy. This is exposure of the industry, because I'm sure Diddy is not the only one involved, has his hand in the freak off parties. And this is the brand that Diddy made a whole lot of money with, Ciroc. Very popular brand when he was up and when he was on top of the world. And this is the brand that Diddy made a whole lot of money with, Ciroc. Very popular brand when he was up and when he was on top of the world.
The indictment against Sean Diddy Combs to be unsealed after he was arrested in Manhattan on federal charges. Cheryl Cassoni with all the details now. Cheryl.
Maria, we are expecting that indictment to be unsealed later this morning after the rapper was arrested on federal charges. That is according to the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Diddy was arrested last night at the Park Hyatt Hotel after he was indicted by a grand jury. Now, the charges have not been revealed, but he was arrested by Homeland Security investigations. They typically handle sex trafficking probes. We know that sex trafficking and racketeering are likely going to be part of this. His lawyer telling Fox News Digital, quote, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal."
And I believe today that Diddy is a sacrifice lamb. He's used as a sacrificial lamb. He's a sacrificial lamb that's being used to expose what goes on in the industry. And they're using him as an example. And so with his arrest and fingers being pointed at him, he's being used as a sacrificial lamb. He is the sacrificial lamb. And he tampered with the hands that fed him, meaning Diageo liquor company sued them with a lawsuit of claiming prejudice. And now, because he bit in the hands that fed him, now is retaliation. And because he did what he did, all fingers are pointed at him, and they're crushing him, bringing down his name, his reputation. Been on his reputation when you've seen the footage of him being battered, Cassie being battered. Cassie being battered. The footage, live footage that everybody actually seen. And what he did to Cassie was wicked, and it was wrong. And whatever's in the dark must come to light. What he did to Cassie was wicked, and it was wrong, and she didn't deserve that. She did not deserve that, and that was exposed. Not just Cassie, the singer Cassie, lovely singer Cassie, but his ex-girlfriend Kim Porter, who he had children with, has a story to tell too. But she mysteriously died. She mysteriously died before she can release her book. And according to the sources, I'll be sure, former singer from back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, I'll be sure is going to put out, help Kim Porter, because Kim Porter told him I was going to help her tell her story. And for some apparent reason, I'll be sure he gets sick and then slips into a coma. But through the grace of God, he made it out. But he never got a chance to put out Kim Porter's story. Something to scratch your head about. Let's turn to a scripture. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? Mark chapter 8, verses 36. So Diddy had a lot going for him. For a long time, the hip-hop mogul had a lot going. He brought out a lot of artists, respect him for that. Biggie Smalls, he brought out. But before Biggie Smalls, he brought out Mr. Flavor in Your Ear, Craig Mack, and he started Bad Boy Records. He brought many other artists out. Black Rob, and the rest is history. The Locks, And it continues. Total, um, helped Mary J. Blige, Faith Evans. The list continues of how many artists he's helped. He was on top of the world. But fame and fortune got to his head, and he allowed to sell his soul. He sold his soul, and he did something which was crazy. Freak off. And I believe that. The parties, people talk about his parties a lot. And the world loves to do this. They put you on a pedestal. Keys to the city, give him keys, put him on a pedestal, Hollywood Walk of Fame, and they lift you up with the same lips. Just like Michael Jackson, they bring you down. And the world loves to do this. They doesn't profit to gain the whole world and lose your soul. Diddy was on top of the world. People wanted to be with him. People wanted to do business with him. And but we'll see when you is a partnership with the devil, and you break the oath. You broke the oath. Now they're gonna bring you down. Now everything you did is exposed. Yes, none of us is perfect, but when you break the oath and when you partner up with the devil, now the oath, you broke the oath, and now they gotta destroy you. And now they gotta destroy you and embarrass you and destroy you so you never be the same again. Let's turn to a scripture, Ecclesiastes 12 verses 14. For God will bring any deed into judgment with every secret thing, whether good or evil. So what do you do? Whatever energy you bring to this earth is going to come back to you. If you're sowing good seeds, it's going to come back to you. But if you're sowing evil seeds, it will come back to you. When you're abusing somebody, it will be exposed and it will come back to you. When you're doing good and you're helping mankind and you're helping people, it will come back to you. Kindness will be to return back to you. Whatever energy you're putting on this earth, it will come back to you.
Special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Now they found all type of things of the freak-offs. But these are adults. They found that they said they found videotapes and baby oil, Johnson and Johnson baby oil. Now they use the reason why they have all these baby oils, I believe, is for sexual pleasures. Of course, sexual pleasure with men, women, men, sexual pleasures, and that's why they call it freak offs, because whoever was a part of that buying the baby oils, and whoever get caught buying all these baby oils and they were going to Diddy's parties are all being questioned, all being prosecuted, and questioned. Whoever was part of this freak off, because Diddy was not the only one that was involved. He was the main headliner, but there's others that's involved. But many, as you can see, many superstars, many famous artists and entertainers are being silent about the matter. And it's just a moment where more things will be revealed. More things will be revealed, and more things will get exposed. And they have people that See all these videos coming up, people talking about it, and more evidence will be found, and it's gonna come out, y'all. This is a moment in time. This is a moment in time that more things are gonna be revealed. You see, when you're on top of the world, you're partying. This is Diddy during one of his parties, freak off parties, having a good time. You're on top of the world. Everybody want to be around you, but the question is, where are they now? When everybody loves you and everybody's around you, want to be a part of your world. When your back is against the wall, where are they now? And that's the question you have to ask yourself. When the going gets tough, they get going. Everybody is silent. And everybody want to be a part of your world. When you're riding high and you're flying high, but you see the day you get in trouble, there's silence, nobody around. You see who your true people are when your back is against the wall. You see who is true to you when your back is against the wall. When the red carpet is pulled from underneath your feet and they used you up, they have no use for you anymore. And now you're thrown to the wayside. They have no use for you. And everybody want to be a part of your world when you're right. And as you can see, when you treat people evil, and because Cassie made some hits and she wanted to sing, that's all she wanted to do. And she wanted to enjoy her craft, but in the process, she didn't want to get abused. And when you abuse your power over somebody, and all they want to do is sing, like what happened with R. Kelly, and you abuse your power because you think you're untouchable and you're flying high, you pay for it. It may not happen tomorrow, but it's gonna come. It's gonna happen. And the problem is when you're not humble and think nothing can happen to you because you have a name, you're a mogul, everybody loves you, everybody put you on a pedestal. But you see, when you do dirt in the dark and behind the scenes and behind the cameras, when all the lights are shut off, all the cameras are shut off, and you hurt people in the process when the lights are shut off, eventually the dirt that you dish out in the dark will come to light. Let's turn to a scripture. Jeremiah 33 verses 3. Call to me and I will answer you and I will tell you great things that are hidden. And when you're close to God, He reveals things to you. He shows you things. He reveals things and show you things.
Brace yourself, 1,000 bottles of lubricant and R-15s were discovered during a federal raid on Sean Diddy Combs' homes. According to court filings, Diddy allegedly hosted disturbing freak-off parties, where victims were subjected to physical abuse and forced to comply. His team is accused of covering up the mess, and now Diddy is facing racketeering, trafficking, and other serious charges. He denies everything. But could this be the downfall of a music legend? What do you think? Is Diddy guilty or framed? Follow for more updates. Brace yourself. Brace yourself, 1,000. Still standing taller than ever been, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing there, still standing taller than ever been, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing there.
We need to ask God and always ask God to show us mercy, and always ask God to just help us not to be so arrogant, and help us not to be think that nothing can happen to us. It's through the mercies of God that we're here. It's through the mercies of God that He allows us to see another day. And so always pray for humility, always pray for being humble. Never act so arrogant and think that you're untouchable. Because you never know when the tables are turned and when how things are gonna turn out. Diddy was on top of the world, man. And when the carpet is being pulled from you, the red carpet is being pulled underneath your feet. You see, the world uses you for what they want. And then when they finish using you, when they have no use for you anymore, no longer need you to carry out their agenda, they dispose of you. When you're no longer of use anymore. Till this day, people in a way blame Diddy for Biggie Small's death because with all the hype going on between East Coast and West Coast back in 1996, Tupac was murdered in 1996. Then months and months later, 1997, going into 1997, I remember that Saturday night, Biggie Smalls was murdered in LA. Now they say, according to the sources, some people say that Diddy could have avoided that. Diddy didn't have to go to, Diddy didn't have to tell Biggie to go to LA. All he had to do was direct him to go to London, and he could have avoided Biggie Smalls' death. My sister and brethren out there, let God be the author of your life. Now the question is, will you sell your soul? Now, and when you're serving the Lord, you don't sell your soul because you're making the decision to follow Christ. But when you sell your soul for all the fame and the fortune and all the rituals that you got to go through, but once you break that oath, you have a price to pay. Once you break the oath, go against the powers that be, the system, there are things that they will learn to slander your name and destroy you. Now, of course, Diddy was exposed, and what he did to Cassie was evil. And what I heard about how he treated Kim was evil. But I say this, whatever's in the dark may come to light. And if you're doing evil and you're hurting people, it will come to light. It will come to light. Now, this is a whole story of putting your trust in this system, but also whatever's in the dark may come to light. Not just Diddy's on trial, but the industry. More things will be revealed, and the industry, Hollywood, is going to go on trial. Not, you see, the thing is that the freak house, yes, Diddy had his hand in it, but others had their hands in it too. So it's not just a Diddy thing, it's an industry thing. Yes, just like the and the Epstein and the Weinstein, exposed, and God is revealing things to us. God is exposing things. When you trust Him and you believe and you walk with the Lord, He reveals things to you. Now, the live word of the day is coming out of Luke chapter 8, verses 17. For nothing is hidden that will not be manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be exposed. Well, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings. Until next time, I got more for you. And if you like what I shared, smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel, Zaccheus Gospel. Be safe out there. Peace and blessings.